Thank you for joining me again. I'd like to start this week's video off by giving a quick training update. I am exactly 4 weeks out from the prestigious Irish Pro Invitational, and in the run up to that, this week I raw bench pressed 98 kilos for 5 reps. I raw deadlifted 183 kilos for 5 reps. I equip benched 115 kilos for 5 reps. And I with the knee wraps on my knees, I squatted 170 kilos for 5 reps. As well as all of that, I matched my single ply PB with my Titan supercharged RAM on the bench press, and a big positive, I got it moving a lot easier. I've had just 90 kilos moving like I had that 135 kilos moving. I will post all those videos after I've finished speaking. However, I don't have a video of my squatting as I was training on my own that day.
Yeah, not wrong.
Come on, let's do it. Going up, 5 reps. Come on. 3, 2, 1. Let's. All right. Fast. 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 Come on, 1.5 now. Fast. Fly now. Black. Come on. 3, 2, 1.
While competitively squatting, there are 2 things that you mainly need to wear. You need to wear a singlet, like this. I did a video with the equipped stuff. This is just like a squat suit or a deadlift suit, except there's no support and you can easily stretch it and slide it on. You won't get any weight out of wearing one of these. You'll have seen me training with this. I do have a separate one for competing in. That's my training one. And of course, while wearing that, you've got to wear a t-shirt on underneath for the squat and the bench press. But you've also got to wear some footwear, more substantial than socks. So most people recommend squat shoes, which are made for squat. And as you can see, a heel there. That makes it so your heel's at a slight raise, making it easier to squat more weight. Now, they're not compulsory to wear squat shoes as long as you're wearing some form of footwear, but a lot of people do recommend these, but I also know lots of people that don't wear these. People wear normal shoes, they wear the stuff that they wear for the deadlifting, or any shoes really, but I'd certainly recommend these shoes with a raised heel. Price wise, they can cost as much or as little as you want. I got these off eBay for £15. My dad owns a pair, he got his for about £15. Different to these, there's tons of different brands. Adidas have their own powerlifting one, or you can buy some ones for £170 like most things. Whilst being raw, you can also wear wrist wraps. These are wrist wraps. They can be up to 1 metre long. These are only 60 centimetres. These are from String Shop. You simply put your thumb in that hole, nice and tight, and wrap it round. You should get a good 3 wraps round if your wrist is similar size to mine. Nice and tight there. Whilst on the squat, I would 100% recommend these. That's if you're multiply, single ply, classic, raw, or whatever division you compete in. Because if you get a slight bit of movement on your back while you're holding the bar, these will really help counteract it. Another thing that I would 100% recommend is the use of a belt. Now, belts at first they sound complicated with fitting in the rulebook, but the WPC rulebook and the IPF rulebook are all the same. The thickness can't be more than 13 mils. If it's more than 13 mils, it's not allowed. And the width of it, this bit, cannot be more than 4 inches. This one is 4 inches. For bench press specialists, they tend to have a 2-inch belt because that helps with arching. Simply put this on by putting it around. Depending on how big you are, it should just fit around your belly button. You clip it in like that. And I like the Strength Shop ones because while you're resting you can just leave it like that. And with the lever you clip in like that and you're ready to lift. After you lift, unclip like that. There are multiple belts that are allowed, like you might see your classic ones with a 2 prongs or a single prong. They're all fine and good. I don't recommend them because they're a bit more harder to get on. But with a belt, one thing that you've got to be careful of, sometimes in your traditional belt like you might see some bodybuilders wearing, you'll get some padding around there. That's solid, there's no padding there. You're not allowed padding in powerlifting. It disqualifies your belt and it can lead to all your lifts being disqualified from the day. Now I've showed you the gear that is used for the squat, I'm going to take you to the gym and I'm going to show you how to squat correctly and incorrectly. So in a competition you either use a monolith, which is over there, or you use a squat rack. In our gym we don't have a squat rack, but we've got a squat cage which I tend to use over there. Now with a squat cage that you don't have at competition, different to a squat rack, is a safety support here. So at a competition you have spotters and loaders there in case anything goes wrong. But in a gym you don't. I have 2 supports, the straps here and the metal beams here, just in case one comes loose with big weight and it can end badly. I've had it before where I was just wearing one of them and the weights nearly just completely fell onto the floor, which would have been a big trouble to get off. So when it comes to approaching this squat, you want to get your hands, and on each bar there'll be rings. Me personally, I get my pinky on that ring and on the other side. And the big failure that most people do when beginning the squat is go under and get the bar right on the top of the neck like that. And I'm not even going to pick it up because it hurts that much. You see, compared to from there, this is how far down the back you want to be getting. So it's resting on the top of the shoulders. So when you start the squat, after you've done that, with a monolith, you will just stand up and the rack will just move and then you just do your squat, whereas with a squat rack or a squat cage you've got to step back. Either way, you've got to wait for the front judge to say squat. No matter in what country it is always squat, followed by the hand signal of that symbolising you go down, which I'm going to do that now.
Squat. Right.
After you've done the squat, you will wait for the judge to say rack, where you're walking on the monolith, just placing and rack. So now that I've showed you what a good squat looks like, I'll tell you what a bad squat looks like. First and easiest one to mess up is ignoring the judges' shouts. Like if you squat down before they shout squat, or if you rack before they say rack, that'll result in instant failure, no debate. Another thing that can result in failure is if your foot moves while squatting, and it's happened to me before. An example would be I'm going down, I think I've come up and my foot moves like that. It moves only a slight bit, but that can result in a fail play. That has happened to me before at last year's British Championships. Another thing that can result in failure is once you're told to rack, if you do not actually attempt to rack. So a good squat, you don't have to you do have to rack, but as long as you look like you're having a good attempt at racking and it doesn't fully rack, you won't be disqualified. But if you've got the weight on your back and you don't look like you're trying to rack and you just let it go, that'll result in a failure. But what won't, if you've got it on you and you're in a squat cage or a squat rack in a competition and you're walking in and you're leaning to put it in and it just doesn't reach, you shouldn't get a fail for that because you made a good attempt at putting it back. And I said ignoring the calls was the easiest cause of disqualification. I was wrong. The easiest cause of disqualification is just not being able to stand back up with a weight. Now I'm going to show you a squat that will be well in depth with any judge in any federation. Because in training you want to train to be well in depth with every squat. Because in a competition and you're with a big weight, you might be able to not go that low and you'll still get away with it because you're used to going, instead of 90 degrees, which is the legal amount, you're used to going to around 80 to 85 degree bends in your knees when in a competition you can put that up to 90 if needs be. So this is a squat.
Squat. Right.
That'll never fail any judge in any federation in the world. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've learnt something about how maybe to improve your squat going forward or how to start squatting. Now next week's video will either be the same but about the bench press, or it will be about my new equipped gear. Now I have had some progress on that. It is now in the country. It's left Texas and it's in Coventry. But it's been held ransom in Coventry until it gets some more searching done on it because the people there don't know what it is. So thank you for joining me. Leave a comment on YouTube or message me on Instagram if there's anything that you'd like me to cover. And I hope I see you in my next video next week. Thank you.